Now this fleet is going to make a great addition, and we have a couple more journals to read through. Lore about the Hunter fleet. Commander, we've spotted what appears to be an AI subroutine, which we have currently termed the Hunter fleet, due to the predator-like aggressive behavior it exhibits. Our theory so far is that AI units currently are not on guard duty. Have been inactive for a while. Are slaved to this subroutine and are used much more proactively and intelligently than the units would act on their own, assuming they are not already slaved. It would appear beneficial for us to destroy as many ships as we can before they potentially escape, join this Hunter fleet, and become a bigger problem later on. That's part of the reason why I wanted to have a lot of ships destroyed instead of escaped. And then we have mysterious anomalies unknown. Commander, our scanners on Tachikawa are reporting strange anomalies. As best we can tell, what appears to be wormholes have opened up on the edge of the system. Unlike the traditional kind that we know, however, these don't appear to originate from our galaxy and are more curiously orbiting around the sector. We have noted a number of smaller strike craft flooding out from the wormhole, though they are rapidly decomposing upon reaching our space. The military leaders report them broadcasting an open signal that we were able to replicate remotely, and we believe these smaller ships to be friendly. Of more note is a much larger signal coming through the wormhole, which our scientists believe to be a ship from a much larger scale. A ship of a much larger scale than these swarms. It may be worth investigating in person. We will continue to monitor the situation and brief you when we learn more. This is here on Tachikawa. These are the migrant wormholes. They are invulnerable units orbiting the planet right now. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. This planet has a couple of defenses, and it is the harder AI. We may or may not be able to get them out because there's 120 strength here. What is this strength mostly? Most of that is static defenses. Counter sniper turrets, a couple of those. Blitzkrieg turrets. Yeah. Also spiders. This planet has a good amount of defenses actually. No, I don't think we will be going after those guys, sorry. But it's time to claim our next fleet. And this is another normal transport ship with no specials attached. So I'm going to take all its ships, add them to my main fleet, even the Shrikes, and put this ship on generation duty. Generation of power and matter. Going to put it here in our home world, because this is not going to produce much energy and matter, but these two worlds most certainly are. Now let's see. Should we hack something yet?
Metal reserves critical.
Yeah, I know our metal resources are critical. Let us steal, or should we yet? I'm not sure. Let's first take a look at what else we have.
Force fields vulnerable to
You're also
disruption.
low on energy, yeah, I know. We have a cruiser construction facility and the anti-marauder phlebotonium emitter. This we can use to release marauders into the galaxy, which is going to add yet more chaos. And this we can use to hack a couple of cruisers. The riot control cruiser is very good at slowing down enemies. It has a couple of things attached, and I'm not even... There's so much. Wow. I'm not sure I want to read through all these weapons, but they were a throwback to classic of the riot control starships, and they could mess you up pretty good. They also have a shield, a bubble force field, if I recall correctly. No, they seem to have a... Oh, yeah, they have a bubble shield. Oh, these are probably enhancement. They are modular. Yeah, right. They also have tractor beams, potentially, and gravity fields and a couple of stuff. The Starfish Cruiser is much simpler. It has a melee weapon, and it produces arms. And these arms are basically separate entities, schoolers and arms that can fight along this. But this thing also consumes a lot of energy, because all the arms and coolers also consume energy. The right control cruiser would be expatriate tech, and this thing is melee tech. Now on this side we have a Zenith meta converter on this planet, which means that we could go there for extra meta. We have another fleet here with vampire claws, space bombers and trackers. Vampire claws are from vanilla cloak ships that heal themselves when doing damage, and they only go for melee, which is also why they're in melee tech. We have space bombers, which are a variant of the space plane. They do bonus damage against turrets and things that are heavier, and they are comparatively tanky. They also have a good defensive bonus, very good especially. They only get a % of damage when the enemy is further away, so it's next to impossible to destroy them with snipers. And trackers are a ship that's also much more potent in the AI's hands, especially when you are relying on cloak ships. These are extremely fast variants of the Raptors, which already are extremely fast. I'm not sure if they are faster, but doesn't really matter. They are fast enough to keep up, for example, with a cloaked flagship. Honestly, let's just get some metal while we are reading through this. They are also able to decloak. Their range is much lower compared to the Raptor, but they are going in close because then they can decloak enemies. And this means that if you're relying on cloak for any amount of reasons, then these ships can get close to you and will prevent you from escaping with these cloaked ships unless you destroy them or are somehow even faster than they are. So yeah, that is potentially dangerous if you're relying on cloaked flagships. Now we have more stuff down here, a Zenith power generator which produces, well, energy. And here we have the lockdown cruiser or the Tempest cruiser. The lockdown cruiser, it has a zombification weapon that is at sniper range, so this is very, very tasty. And it also produces a, what was it called? A frigate class drone that transforms based on the strength ratio of enemies present. Its defensive form, I'm guessing when you're outnumbered, can prevent enemy ships from leaving, while its offensive form, I'm not sure. I guess the defensive form is probably better when you are in superior numbers, so the enemy can't leave. And the offensive form is better when you have inferior forces and you want enemies not escape. You want your enemies to actually die. Now let's get more energy and start constructing ships again. And the other is the Tempest cruiser, which has a Tempest tornado weapon that is a missile, multi-missile, with 12 shots and a shockwave. Wow, we need even more energy. And then the Tempest cruiser has a kinetic buffer to repulse enemies that are getting too close, stunning their engines. Yeah, that's its weapon. It's an artillery weapon as well, with good range, even though this has even more range. It has infinite range. So yeah, those are the things we are being faced with. I'm not seeing one specific tech group really going above and beyond everything else right now other than core. Which is why I'm going to invest another point into this. Get more ships out of it. So, I think our next step is probably going here to Xiphers. I don't see much purpose in going anywhere else just yet. The migrants here apparently have died, but there's more wormholes on Xiphers. So we could be going there. If we are successful, we may actually save a couple of these guys, but we would have to go here and deal with the Iron Eye first. Yeah, I'm not seeing that happening that quickly. Let us go here. And since this planet only has a couple of ships from the Sentinel faction, supposedly they are going after the Dyson Sphere, but they will fight us when we are on this planet. Other than that, it's mostly snipers, especially trippers, and the gravic pods. There's also a couple of AI escort carriers, so we can't take this system willy-nilly. We have to be a bit smarter about it. Let us think about what we can do. First thing I would like to do is get rid of the, not the carrier guardians, the escort carriers. They have 0.6 albedo, so sadly we can't do bonus damage with our snipers against them. But how would we do this? I'm feeling we need another tech upgrade, to be perfectly honest. What would we take? There's nothing we have that's really good against them. Maybe pick exotic. We are getting a decent amount of strength out of it, a decent amount of ship upgrades. Same with subterfuge though. This is difficult to choose. Let us first see what we can do with our sniper and our great sabot, although, hang on, they are only 5 TX, aren't they? Oh, they are only 4 TX of mass, okay. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to slow down the game to default speed. Now, I also want this thing on because it zombifies us when it gets close. We may be doing multiple runs of this. So this is just carrier, ambush carrier, escort carrier. Oh, another Tefrida. Are we really controlling all of them? Because I want them to focus. Apparently they are not listening to my commands. Oh, we also have an ambush guard post. What are you? You are the ambush carrier. Just please kill the escort carrier. Although technically that's also an escort carrier, so I don't mind them attacking it. You are getting a bit low. So, one down. Go after him. Very nice. Yes, take him out. The enemy is not doing that much damage, in all honesty. So, what are you? You are a carrier guardian. Do we have any more escort carriers? No, we do not. Also, no Tefrida. So, it might be time to get all our ships and take out whatever else is there. Let's take the enemy out. And they're immediately fleeing because I didn't realize we had this much strength so early on. 135 strength, 134. What are you, by the way? Ah, you're a light seeker from the Dyson Sphere. Spire Dyson Sphere, to be precise. So, yeah, this plant has been annihilated. Maybe I was worried about nothing after all. We also have a couple of zombies here. Alright. Let us take out the command station. There it goes. And now all the guard posts also decloaked, which means we can attack them. Like all other cloak ships, these have, or almost all other cloak ships, they have 0.7 albedo. So, since this had a lot of asteroids, the maximum amount of 10, I very much want to throw up an economic world here. If need be, we can fortify the planet further with our battle station turrets. Let's also get our engineers. This has splash tech. We have an unknown raid engine launching ships somewhere in the galaxy, and we have unlocked more knowledge about the galaxy. Let me just see for a moment. Did I set this? I forgot to set this to free. Ah. Well, I was wondering why we are getting so much intel. Oh well, what's done is done. What's done is done.